Pewdiepie, kill this shit.
Yeah.
If you are watching this, please do comment, like, subscribe, join the notification gang, hit the notification bell, get notifications every and any time I post. Thank you, I appreciate it, and I'm out. What is up, YouTube? It is showtime. Back with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to play good hedge screen defense in NBA 2K21. Now, this is a very highly requested video that a lot of you guys wanted. Before we get started, you guys have been killing it on the views and likes. We've been able to easily average 1,000 views, which is very solid. We're probably averaging around 2,000 views at this point within the last 4 or 5 videos I've been doing, so I'm really appreciative of that. You guys are killing it on the likes, the comments. We're definitely going to do some form of giveaway. I think we want to do a huge giveaway at around 10,000 subs. We're only at 3,000 subs. We're still growing, so I'd appreciate each and every one of you guys. Like, comment, subscribe right now. Do me that favor, and we'll get straight into today's video on how you guys can start playing better hedge defense and better screen defense in NBA 2K21. So before we get exactly started on how you guys can start hedging better, my first piece of advice is to really understand what a hedge is. A hedge is like a fake switch in order to intimidate the shooter into taking a bad shot. That way you do not let threes go down and you kind of force them into a weird position. So for example, if somebody is setting a screen, I hedge and I pick up. I pretend like I'm going to completely switch, meaning I pick up and I get in front of them. I scare them into taking a good shot, only a bad shot, only until the primary defender, meaning the lock, is able to recover. All I'm doing is intimidating the shooter until my lock recovers from the screen. Because as you guys know, you defenders, lockdowns will be hit by screens. You guys will be hit by screens. It is 100% of the time you're going to get hit by screens. You're flooded with screens. So it's important that you guys, centers, are helping you guys. And it's completely natural and normal to be completely destroyed by screens. We're big man out here with Brick Wall Hall of Fame. So it is up to you, centers, to be able to recover and just kind of take in their spot for them, take in their place just until they recover from getting hit by a screen. That's the only job, and that's kind of like just a little definition I put together in an example for you guys to really understand what a hedge is before we really get into how to do a good hedge. So when you guys are hedging, my number one piece of advice, as always, I tell you guys this 100 times. I'm sorry if this is repetitive. I have to keep repeating this for those who haven't gotten this piece of information, for those looking for this piece of information, for those who've watched my videos and haven't got that far. I always make this the first tip because I really want you guys to really get this, is you guys have to stop holding L2. You guys cannot hold L2 on defense while trying to hedge if you are a big man. It is near next to impossible to be able to have great hedge defense while you're holding the L2 button. The L2 button is your intense defense. So what that does is puts you in a defensive form, like a defensive shuffle, and that kind of slows you down. Us big men do not have the fastest lateral quickness in the game. Now, to those of you guys with the blah build, as you guys know, which is one of the faster 190 build, it's a little bit easier for you guys to hedge because you guys are lower weight. So to my big guys out there, especially, you guys cannot be holding the L2. My piece of advice is that none of you centers are using L2 when trying to play defense. Keep that in mind when you're hedging, and it'll make your hedges a lot better. Now what I'll actually do is I'll leave some clips of me actually hedging right here. Notice how I'm not using L2 and I'm kind of just sitting middle and I'm waiting to see how the person dribbles and I run to them. All I'm doing is recovering. Sometimes you guys may have to do a full switch. Just sometimes you guys have to do a full switch because they've gotten too badly hit by a screen and you guys got to play full out defense. Now if you guys really want, you guys can put clamps if you guys feel you're getting into that situation a lot more. If you're not confident in your lock, I really don't think you need it because it's not that hard to play defense as long as you're not holding your L2. So while you're hedging, don't hold L2. And also when you're playing defense on a person, say you make a full switch and now you have to guard a dribble guard, I advise that you guys do not hold L2. All you're going to get yourself is fried. You guys are going to get cooked, you guys are going to get fried, and it will not end well for either of you guys. So lock to my lock and to my more for my centers, please don't hold L2 when you're playing hedge defense or any really form of defense because you guys are slower than locks and other builds. Now another piece of advice or another alternative to playing hedge defense is actually by playing sides. Now for those of you guys who don't know what sides are, it's basically where, let's say, a screen is being set in the middle and the lock and the the center basically come to an agreement on which side they want to guard. So let's say the guard says, okay, the lock says, okay, I'm going to guard the left side. If he goes left on the screen, I'm going to cover him and completely take him. And the center says, okay, I'll get the right side, meaning if he dribbles to the right side, I will completely cover him. It is basically somewhat of a zone. You're just playing left and right, and basically that's a really good way to stop them from getting threes. The only con about playing this is that you will give away a lot of slips and a lot of twos, and then that will leave them to get showtime dunks, and then that'll just get their guards in takeover because they have the showtime badge. So there's pros and cons, but it is another good way of playing defense, and if you guys can get it down pat, it's great. Now with the slips, if you guys feel like you can drop down fast enough and kind of escape from the sides and get back down there so the center doesn't get an easy showtime dunk, that's even better. That's even a better way to play it. So you guys have many ways of hedging. There's not only one way to hedge. There are multiple ways of hedging when you're playing hedge defense and screen defense. Now another way that you guys can actually play screen or hedge defense is completely just shutting down the threes. You guys just stop the threes and you completely give up twos. Now the only time I'd suggest actually playing this type of hedge defense is, let's say the score is, for example, let's say you guys are up 17 and the opposing team is 9 and they're not going to come back, and you don't even want to give them the chance to come back. When you feel like, okay, I don't want to give them the chance to come back, I'm going to shut these people down, you guys want to just completely attack that three, close off the threes, and literally give them the twos. Once again, the only con about playing this defense is if the center knows how to get showtime dunks, what does showtime do? It boosts the takeover meters of their other teammates, so their guard and their lockdown will get into takeover that much faster. So there is pros and cons to playing all these types of hedge defense, but that defense is very, very needed sometimes. There are moments when you really cannot afford a three, so you say, okay, let's just double team the crap out of this guy. We're not going to give him any form or type of threes, and that way you guys completely shut down the perimeter or any way of them scoring a three, and then just give them the two, and then you guys win the game. Now another way of playing hedge defense, another tip to playing hedge defense I should say, is your badges. There is a badge that you guys are probably seeing a lot more often than I noticed in the comp stage. If I'm being honest, I'm learning as I go. I've taken a huge break from current gen. I'm starting to get back into the rhythm of it, and I'm starting to learning how the game is played, and it's completely changed from last November, September, and whenever the game was out. This game is completely different. Trapper. A trapper is that secret badge that you guys need. This badge is very good. Now how I advise you guys use it is, you center should be using Trapper Hall of Fame, because you guys have 30 defensive badges. You guys can spread your badges very easily, and to my locks, you guys should only have it on silver. You guys can put it on gold and Hall of Fame if you're a lock if you want, but I feel like it's just easier to have it on silver. It basically works the same. Trapper is a very important badge. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a clip of how it works. If you guys are able to double team and shut down the three, I told you guys there is a risk in doing that. There is no risk when you have Trapper. When you have the Trapper badge and you guys double team someone on the three and completely suck the defense out of getting any threes, you can actually get a steal or a jump ball turnover. So if two people have Trapper and they're both double teaming the ball handler will either be pickpocketed by one of you guys because you guys have Trapper, or you guys will be in a jump ball animation, and jump ball leads to a turnover, meaning you guys get the ball. You guys have to use Trapper. Consider the Trapper badge. If you are a center, I'd advise you using a Hall of Fame, and your lock use on silver. When there's double Trapper working together, double teaming the ball, shutting out the three, you guys can be hawks and no one can do anything. You guys can completely shut down the team. Now to activate the badge, I'd advise that you guys use stick up. If you flick the stick while using Trapper, you'll get an easy rip. If you're using Trapper and you're holding, this is where you centers can use the L2. You guys can start using L2 defense, and then you guys can completely suck out the three. So when I say hold L2 is when you guys have a complete, you guys can literally just complete double team them, and then you guys hold L2 together. You guys have to use L2 to activate this badge, and then you guys will either get the jump ball turnover animation or get a steal from them. So definitely use the Trapper badge. It is one of my favorite badges now. I always have it on Hall of Fame when I'm playing threes. Now what I'll actually do here for you guys is I'll show you my controller settings for my intense defense. There is certain controller settings that you guys should be able to use on hedge that may help your hedge better, so you guys stop sliding. Now for my centers, I'd advise that you guys use 15 intense defense. It is the best intense defense setting to have. I'll leave it on screen here for you guys. It'll stop you from sliding and make your hedges a whole lot easier. Now for my locks, I would use 30. You get a little more of it, and it kind of assists you better on your defensive stance, so you guys aren't slipping and sliding. So once again, for my centers, use 15, and for my locks, use 30. That's just what I'd suggest for you guys, and it'll probably help you guys a lot more when you're sliding on defense. Now that is all for today's video, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. This video take a lot of time and effort, so please do leave a like, comment, and subscribe and all that good stuff. I do want to thank everybody that's continually been supporting this channel. You guys have been killing it on the views. I really appreciate it. If you've gotten this far in the video, I really do appreciate you guys. Once again, if you did like the video, please do leave a like on the video. If you like what I'm doing, support me on my grind. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, join Noti Gang, get notifications every and anytime I post bangers. Once again, thank you, I appreciate it, and I'm out.